So to prepare you for the very beginning of the course, I'm going to introduce you to a few basic arm movements that will help you when we begin, specifically pointing the sword, thrusting, sweeping. When we point the sword, very often we are angling the sword at a slight. Now, to be able to do this, once more you have to have a loose grip. If it's tight, you're not going to be able to. You're going to have to raise your shoulder up high, which will tense your whole of your upper back and throw your posture out. So you're going to need to have it in a very relaxed way. And again, only by relaxing the wrist can we allow the blade and the hilt to drop lower. And you'll also notice that the hilt is just pointing up a little bit there. Let me show you from this side. And that's because it's relaxed. Again, if I've got all my fingers tightly around the hilt, that's not going to be able to move. Most of the movement, certainly vertically in the sword, and you'll also find as we do the exercises in the next video, it's controlled by the thumb and the forefinger here. So that's why it's very important to keep the rest relaxed. When we choose to thrust in the form, there is a one-hand thrust and a two-hand thrust. Now you may have noticed as I did that, I swiveled the sword so that the edge, instead of being vertical here, was horizontal. And again, that's going to vary according to each posture. So we'll deal with that as we work through the form together. When you are thrusting, it's very often accompanied by a bow stance with the front leg bent and the back leg straight-ish. If you don't know what the bow stance is, you'll need to have subscribed to the course. And anyone who's subscribed should have got their PDF by now, showing exactly the different foot stances that we will be using throughout the form. Sweep is one of the bigger movements that move across the whole body, and it's a very powerful cut. For this you want to hold the hilt a little bit more tighter than in some of the other moves. But also remember not to tense up the arm, because although it's a big movement with the arm from one side or to the other, you are not using the strength of your arm. You have to use your waist and your legs and the energy from the ground. And if you want to tap into those eternal sources of energy, then you'll need to relax the arm. So we start once more with a loose wrist grip. Also in the form, we're going to be doing overhead blocking, we're going to be doing parrying moves and diversionary moves. We're going to be doing lots of twirly, nicey whirly, twirly, curly whirly sort of things. And we're going to be doing chopping down and slicing up. We'll deal with these in each of the postures as they come up. For now, I want you just to go back over and practice holding, getting used to the feel of the weight and the movement and shifting your body weight. So remember what I talked about in the PDF on postures, adopt the right foot postures, and now start looking at some of the arm movements. So I hope this has been a useful introduction, a very brief introduction to 1, holding the sword, 2, the sword fingers, and 3, basic cuts and thrusts. As I mentioned before, in the next video, what I'd like to do is introduce you to some of the foot patterns and rhythms that I often teach before going into the form, because it's like loosening up. It gets us into the flow and the sense of rhythm before we embark on specific postures of the form. So that's coming up in the next video. This was the penultimate preparatory video before we embark on the sword course with me, the Teapot Monk. Thanks very much for watching. Any comments, links, etc., leave in the comment box below. See you soon.